I want to thank you for your leadership on the no first use bill in the House.
Thank you.
And I also want to thank you for being sort of the most vocal person on the campaign trail about peace. In the past, cloud formations, geese, and weather balloons have been mistaken by both the United States and Russia as an incoming nuclear strike. And we still maintain our entire nuclear arsenal on hair trigger alert, which essentially means that we can launch them in less than 10 minutes. Now, the arms control community suggests that we should remove that hair trigger alert status of our nukes. I'm wondering what your position is on hair trigger alert.
I support removing that hair trigger alert for all the reasons that you've just suggested. That we've seen throughout decades now, so many hundreds, if not thousands, of near misses, of these accidental perceptions or assumptions that something is an incoming attack, and then thankfully in the nick of time they realize, oh no, it's actually a flock of geese, or it's actually a reflection of a new satellite that's just been launched. So many of these different examples are cause for grave concern, given this hair trigger alert and given the fact that there is not a no first use policy in place. So all it would require is our country or theirs or Russia's looking and seeing, oh gosh, you've got somebody who's monitoring around the clock, right? Is there an incoming attack or not? And seeing something and making that mistake of thinking it actually is attack, and then trying to preempt it by launching an attack of their own. And once that happens, it's game over. It's not just saying, well, a nuclear weapon. If we look at the power and the magnitude of these nuclear weapons that exist today, they are far greater than what was used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And these are not weapons that are built to just take out a very targeted military target. That these are things that will take out, entire cities, if not more. What to speak of the nuclear fallout, the nuclear winter that comes after that. So really what we're talking about when we say that there's a nuclear threat, what we're talking about is nuclear annihilation for our planet. And we gotta be real and clear-eyed about what this means, and how not only do we still have all these missiles on hair trigger alert, but we have increasing tensions between our country and Russia and China, both nuclear armed countries, that are only pushing us closer and closer to the possibility, to that brink of nuclear catastrophe. This is something that we in Hawaii got a huge wake-up call to last year in January. I don't know how many of you heard or saw it on the news when we got a very terrifying message on over 1 million cell phones all across the state saying, missile incoming, seek immediate shelter, this is not a drill. And this is why you've heard me talk about this before. This was a huge wake-up call for us about how real this threat is, where if you can just imagine if we got that message right here as we're sitting here, that there's a missile incoming, seek immediate shelter, this is not a drill, you got 15 minutes, roughly, to find shelter. Where would you go? Where would you go? We would stay here. We would not
Downstairs.
be protected here.
Downstairs. There's
It would
shelter
be
downstairs.
A good effort, but we would not be protected there. And that is the serious hoax that really this is that our leaders have failed us, pushed us to this point where this threat is real for any one of us in this country. They've got an elaborate warning system that says seek shelter immediately if such an attack comes through, but there is no shelter. There is nowhere to go. And this wake-up call that we had in Hawaii was a huge kind of turning point, instigator for me ultimately to make a decision to run for president, because our very future is at stake. Our existence is at stake. This is the greatest existential threat that we face. It does not have to be this way. We can make these changes, some of which you're talking about. We are already working in Congress to move in this direction. But we can change this by de-escalating these tensions, which is why the very first thing that I'll do if I'm elected president in the Oval Office is to call for a summit with the United States, China, and Russia to begin this dialogue necessary to walk us back from this brink that we are standing upon, and begin those tough negotiations necessary to move us forward towards a future where no family here, or anywhere for that matter, has to live in fear that at any moment that alert could come across your phone or across your TV screen and leaving you wondering, what will I do with the last 15 minutes of my life?